Look at what happens now in verse 13 as the people of God obey, right? So they listened and they obeyed. Verse 13, then Haggai, the Lord's messenger, gave this message of the Lord to the people. Get a load of this. I am with you, declares the Lord. You have faithfully obeyed. You stopped gobbling up your pies. You've dedicated your life to me. Now you know the privilege of me being with you. Now I ask you, friends, look at the graphic one more time. What does being with represent? When God is with you and you are with God, you will live in the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, right? I want to ask you as you go through, where are you with your walk with the Lord? Notice each of the cylinders are empty. That's because without Him, you are empty. You want to know the frustration? You're not doing well with love. You're not doing well with joy, peace, patience, right? You're not doing well with goodness, kindness, gentleness, self-control, faithfulness, also known as courage. Because without Him, you've got nothing to fill these. But live in faithful obedience. And then the people said, yes, Lord. And He said, now I am with you. Tell the people I am with them. And what happens? So the Lord stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel and the spirit of Joshua and the spirit of the whole remnant of the people. Friends, if you and I will commit to faithful obedience, the Lord will stir you and me up, and He will be with us. And then your need and your source of love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, self-control, faithfulness, all of this, He will fill it. And you will be. And this place will glow because His people will be on fire for Jesus. This is what happens. And praise God, the people do. They do. It says, and then they went to work. I invite you here today celebrating all that God has done to bring us to this point. I celebrate and am inspired by some of you who barely touch your pie. I see your time, your talent, and your treasure fully devoted to the Lord. And others of you, I come like an alarm clock with a wake-up call. As Haggai did, I ask you, where are you on your mission with the Lord? I ask you, what do you really want? What do your pies show that you want? And then I ask you, who are you really with? Because God says, I'm going to call a people to build my house. And those who do, I will be with. God will be with every single person who wants to be with God. Is that not an incredible promise? If you want to be with Him, if you truly want to be with Him, He will be with you. Because of that truth, those with whom God is not, evidenced by the consumption of the pies, I come to as a truth teller and a loving missionary, and I say it's because you don't really want God. See, you can have as much Jesus as you really want. He made that promise, and He proved it on the cross. He validated it with an empty tomb. I say to you, this place is going to be to build a people that are about His purposes. And I offer you His blessing. Not if you come here, but if you become His people. If you will surrender to Him to see today as the starting line. We're not anywhere near the finish line. Today marks the starting line for God's people to become absolutely committed to building His house. And by building His house, it means becoming His people. And by becoming His people, it means living in the power of His Spirit, having Him with us. And the evidence, the fruit will be your pie plate. And so I want to ask you, wherever you are today, and it starts with me, give more of your time pie to the Lord. Give more of your talent pie to the Lord. Give more of your treasure pie to the Lord. I promise you, he will use every ounce of you that you give him. And I promise you, an exponentially higher rate of frustration every day that you now know this truth and deny him his due. From this day on, you'll be held responsible for what you know. I pray that this will be the truth that the Lord uses to set you free. It doesn't get any better than this. Say, yes, Lord, and then you know for the rest of your life the blessing of him being with you. And if you've been saved, but you say, you know what, my cylinders are running dry, I'm saved, then press back into Jesus. Come back. Stop quenching the Spirit. Surrender anew and know what it is not only to build his house, but to be his people.